On September 23, 2024, an American F-16 intercepted a Russian Su-35 over Alaska's ADIZ. But this was no routine encounter. The Su-35's reckless maneuver put both pilots in danger. Here's what happened. The Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ, airspace surrounds Alaska and is under strict supervision by the U.S. This zone extends into international airspace, which means that any foreign aircraft entering the area has to be identified and tracked by U.S. military planes. This zone is an early warning system against possible threats, so any foreign military aircraft entering into this zone triggers a quick response to safely identify the vessel. The Alaskan ADIZ is a buffer between the US and Russia, who sit on opposite sides of the Arctic. Russian military planes have used the airspace defensively to gauge US response time from within the zone, and they sometimes do this with reckless maneuvers designed to provoke a response. Regular interceptions of Russian planes occur in this airspace. But this time, things escalated beyond a routine interception. A lot has been said about the two jets in the incident, the F-16 and the Su-35. The F-16 Fighting Falcon is one of the most famous fighter jets in the world. The jet's a multi-role, meaning that it can be used for a lot of operational types, including air-to-air combat and attacks on ground targets. The F-16 is appreciated for its speed, maneuverability, and accuracy. It's capable of attaining speeds of up to 1,500 miles per hour, more than twice the speed of sound. The F-16's advanced radar can detect enemy aircraft hundreds of miles from the fighter jet, giving it an edge in intercepting aircraft that intrude into controlled airspace. The F-16 has several weapons, like the AMRAAM and Sidewinder infrared missile for short-range interceptions. These weapons are made for air superiority, meaning that they're designed to destroy enemy aircraft. On the Russian side is the Su-35, an advanced fighter jet that poses a serious challenge in aerial combat. The Su-35 is an upgrade to the Su-27, which never seems to lose its reputation for extreme agility and long-distance radar. The thrust vectoring engines give this plane a unique feature that allows it to hold very advanced maneuvers, outmatching what can be done by other jets. This ability makes the Su-35 one of the most maneuverable jets in the world. Apart from its agility, the Su-35 is fitted with advanced avionics and radar systems that allow it to track and engage multiple targets simultaneously. This jet is armed with air-to-air missiles, it's got some bombs, and a 30mm cannon. Its job is to maintain air superiority. So we have two powerful jets in the sky, but what happens when one of them takes a reckless risk?
Good evening and welcome, everyone. The U.S. tonight offering compelling evidence that Russian fighter jets were the aggressors in a confrontation with an American Air Force drone over the Black Sea this week.
On this particular day, a U.S. F-16 was intercepting a Russian Tu-95 bomber over Alaska's ADIZ. Russia operates the Tu-95 as a long-range strategic bomber, and while the U.S. fighter was monitoring the activities of the Tu-95, a Russian Su-35 was providing cover for the bomber. Suddenly, the Russian Su-35 executed an extremely reckless maneuver. It crossed in front of the F-16's nose at high speed in what's called a head-butting maneuver. This maneuver was, without doubt, extremely dangerous. The Su-35 was so close to the F-16 and moving at such high speed that the American pilot had to make an immediate decision to avoid a mid-air collision. This decision to avoid the crash demonstrated how excessively dangerous these interactions can be. The violent change in airflow or any disturbance could have easily been the precursor to a mid-air accident. If the F-16 pilot had not reacted, a catastrophic event would have occurred. Headbutting isn't typically in a pilot's book of operational procedure. It's a rather dangerous tactic with one aircraft passing, usually at high speed, across the nose of another. The result is heavy turbulence that can disturb the other aircraft.
I agree with NORAD to the certain degree that it's not a direct threat to our state right now, but is this something that we need to try to prevent and show American military strength in Alaska to deter? You better believe it.
The American military quickly termed the maneuver unsafe and unprofessional. NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, oversees air defense for the US and Canada. They made it clear that such actions by the Russian jet put both pilots in serious danger and violated the norms for professional conduct in military aviation. One wrong move and this could have turned into an international crisis. This kind of encounter can trigger a very fast escalation of events. If the situation had been misjudged by the American pilot, the consequences could have been devastating. A collision or missile being fired in such a tense environment could easily lead to a wider military confrontation. Both aircraft were flying in international airspace, but the close call offers an eternal reminder of the stakes involved in military operations.
Classified Pentagon video from the drone's camera captured a Russian warplane spraying jet fuel directly in the path of the pilotless drone. One of several close passes by Russian fighters, according to the Pentagon, one of which resulted in a collision, part of the American aircraft's propeller.
In fact, the US and Russia are in a long-drawn standoff. Russia, through maneuvers like these, is attempting to flex itself and show that it can challenge the US military without triggering an outright war. However, these actions are incredibly dangerous and increase the chances of something going wrong. In 1983, a Soviet fighter shot down a South Korean passenger plane that was straying over Soviet territory and ended up killing 269 people. It's a tragic event that reveals how fast things can go wrong when the appropriate precautions have not been taken. While not quite as severe, this case does demonstrate once again the risks of intercepting foreign military aircraft in sensitive areas. The potential for misinterpreting or panicking could easily lead to a shootout or a collision by either American or Russian pilots. As luck would have it, those involved did the right thing because the danger was indeed real. The US and Russian pilots engaged in these encounters are highly experienced, but military aviation is unpredictable, and the odds are always extremely high. Such maneuvers put the pilot's skills under test, and therefore both sides must respect the internationally accepted standards for conduct and professionalism at all time. The world's watching, and while these incidents may appear self-contained, they have the potential to set in motion even larger conflicts. Ultimately, this incident puts the spotlight on the narrow margins in which military operations take place in the sky. Armed with state-of-the-art radar and an array of weapons, the F-16 stands ready in an instant for the protection of sovereign airspace. In comparison, the other side presents the Su-35 with higher technologies and agilities that still may not have the discipline and readiness of the US. The US is unmatched when it comes to safeguarding its airspace, always leading technological advancements and equipping highly skilled pilots while minimizing risks while ensuring the nation's security.